Okay, whenever you're ready.
All right. Hello, Amanda. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Lovely day outside, isn't it?
It is getting a little chillier now.
That is true. So, just reviewing my notes from last time,
Mm-hmm.
I would just like to run this by just to make sure that I have things right.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a long distance relationship with a boyfriend from Texas, is that right?
That's correct. Yep.
You're here in grad school.
Mm-hmm.
We were a little bit unsure of would he be finding somebody else? Is he interested in somebody else? Is that right?
Yeah, I was feeling pretty insecure last time we talked just because he had just started this new job, and I just wasn't really sure how that was going to play out with our relationship because we got to see each other so much when I lived in Texas, and now it's a lot different. And with his work schedule and my work schedule and class and stuff, we just don't get to really have that just like dedicated time every single day to kind of decompress and talk about how things have been going or what's been going on, I guess. So it was just kind of a insecurity and a worry that I was having that we just weren't going to be able to connect in the same way that we used to when we had a lot more commonalities back when we lived together.
Well, I can see how that can definitely be hard.
Mm-hmm.
So now, I know we spoke a little bit about maybe addressing these issues with him.
Mm-hmm.
Have you talked about it with him at all?
Yeah, I have a little bit, but I don't know. I don't want to bother him with it because I feel like one of his favorite things about me is that he knows that I'm like a strong, independent woman who doesn't like get jealous and doesn't like question his motives kind of thing. And I just don't want that to like seep into our relationship that he's like, oh, well, now that we're apart, like you've changed and you're not the same that you used to be. And I just, I guess I'm trying to make things as normal as possible between us and kind of try and create some normalcy and some consistency in our relationship. And I don't know, I just don't really want to bring it up because I feel like if I bring it up, like it might like cause a fight, or then he would be like, well, if you're insecure about this, then you don't believe in us and maybe we should just stop. And it's not that, it's just that it's different when it's long distance, you know? I don't know.
Have you ever addressed any issues with him before?
I have, yeah. We had a couple issues in the first year of our relationship where he was kind of hurting my feelings a lot of the time, and I don't feel like my I don't feel like my feelings get easily hurt. So to me, it was a pretty big deal that he was hurting my feelings, and I didn't really know what to say or how to process it with him without like making him feel like a bad guy. But at the same time, I just really needed to like tell him, like, you know, when you say these things, like it hurts my feelings. It was before we had started living together, and we had been like hanging out pretty much all the time, and then I would just like spend the night at his place a lot. And he said something along the lines of like, oh, well, like you can come over, but I'd rather if you didn't spend the night tonight. Like, I want to sleep by myself. And that really hurt my feelings. And so he had done that like a couple times, and so then I like took a few days and just like didn't try to see him. I just let him kind of come to me, I guess. Just because I was worried that I was like overbearing, or he was just like feeling suffocated in our relationship. And then he like kind of finally asked what the deal was, so I like told him that he hurt my feelings by saying that like it made me feel like he didn't want me or he didn't want to be with me because I don't know. I guess I feel like when I choose to be in a relationship, I think that through a lot. And I pick people who I don't get sick of. If that makes sense. Like, I try and pick someone who, like, I know is gonna be like my partner and my friend, and that it's like a very effortful decision on my part where I want to spend as much time with that person as I can. I'm not like, oh, I need me time. I need you to like leave me alone. But no, it's not like that. Even if we're not like actively engaging in conversation, just like being in the other person's presence, I just like enjoy that. Like, he's doing homework at his desk and like I'm reading a book on the bed or whatever. Just like being around each other like that. I like that a lot, but I guess he just like needed some time to decompress. Like not even me, not even our relationship, but just kind of like life in general. And it was something that was kind of hard for me, but we talked it out. Sorry, I'm being like really detailed about this, but just I don't know. That was like the only time
No,
really
this is
that
wonderful. This is very wonderful.
yeah.
Now, I'm guessing that by what it sounds like,
Mm-hmm.
you choose people who you don't, well, to say it, don't get sick of. You enjoy spending time with them. You don't really need your alone time.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like to me that he needs a little bit of alone time.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that like I've learned to kind of deal with a little bit, because like I work a lot and like I see that as my quote unquote alone time because I'm alone away from him. Like I'm around other people, but I don't have that like intrinsic need to like physically be literally alone. And like sometimes he really likes that.
Sorry to interrupt. Hi.
Hi.